course, my mother and this lovely woman right here know this, but I have been involved in College Discovery since middle school, since 7th grade actually. I'm currently now on the board. I did attend here, Warwick High, my first 2 years of high school. Then I did transfer to Heritage. I still got love for you, you know, I claim Heritage, I'm not gonna lie. That's where graduation came from, y'all know. But I came to speak today for the fact of living in various areas, dealing with various things. It did expose me to different stuff, and of course, that made Girlie's life what we call a bit viral. If everything that happened with me got out there, y'all probably see me on CNN somewhere or talking on Breakfast Club saying, so how did that happen and how did this take place? However, one thing I've always learned is you take what makes you different and you use it for what you're meant to do. It all comes down to what you use it for. So I tried my best to make sure that I encourage other people by letting them know the same way I had to use what made me different so that I could see success, you all are able to do that as well. Little backstory, born and raised here in 757. I was involved in College Discovery now since 7th grade, as I already said. To put in, I guess you say, the chunks, 757, total throughout my entire lifetime, been homeless 3 different times, altogether 5 years of homelessness. Part of that was when I was in school, when I was in high school, and also when I was in college. When I actually attended my alma mater, which is Hampton University, I actually was homeless at Hampton University my first 2 years of school. And I was also homeless my last year of high school. Meeting famous people, going singing at the White House, meeting President Barack Obama, meeting Kurt Franklin, interviewing him at college, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, when Thanksgiving time came around, I still had to figure out where I was going to be laying my head while everybody else was going home eating turkey. So I had to learn very quickly to be able to use what happens and be able to rock out with it. My lovely mother, who is here helping me out on today, she has dealt with the illness since I was younger. That played a big part in my life. When my parents divorced, of course, it left it in my hands. No longer is, dad helping out a whole bunch. And that had a big impact on my thought process and also on how I looked at things. To be very honest, I went through a time of depression my sophomore year of high school. Altogether, went from about a 3.2 GPA down to a 2.5 from missing classes. Missed over 50 days of school. And that's actually why I ended up getting the boot here for more. For the fact that I was in pre-IB, but they like, you're missing these days, your GPA got caught a hit, we know you're smart and everything, but we're going to have to tell you bye. Thankfully, when I went to Heritage and everything, with the help of various people that were involved with me, the choir director, Miss Simmons, I love her like an aunt. She's like family to me. People like Mrs. Miller, which College Discovery, those people that really held me under their wing and really helped me to be able to get myself back leveled. I was able to get myself back together. GPA didn't really get back to where I wanted it to be because I know, as some of you may know from either hearing about it or maybe experiencing it yourself, once the GPA gets down, it's hard to get that sucker back up. So was having to really struggle with that, great test scores, seeing 30 ACT and all this stuff, great recommendations, but that GPA did not want to get back up to that full 3.0. It was about a 2.82, and they did an on-site admission to Hampton University. Honestly, I felt something telling me to go and apply. I did it, miraculously got in. A few months later, because I had to reapply again, I caught a bit of a runaround. Had to reapply again. Once I got back in again, a couple weeks later, found out that they had actually given me a scholarship paying for my tuition, room, and board. That plus my federal grants, I was able to go to school basically for free. Currently, I have one student loan, and that is for a summer class I took right after my freshman year because I needed somewhere to stay. And I said, hey, let's knock out some credits. I have somewhere to lay my head. So got a small student loan. Other than that, went to school for free. I'm saying all this for the fact of this was able to happen, A, because I made sure that I worked on my circle, who I was around, who I had around me, but also B, because I figured out the simple fact of your difference helps define your destiny. When you have something different about you, whether it's your personality. I know me, I've always been told I was an old soul. I could talk to somebody and they would think I was 3 to 5 years older than what I was. So when I was in college, I would talk to someone. There was a dorm next to my freshman dorm, and it was a co-ed dorm. I would go there all the time because they used to always have the open mics there. I love to sing, I love to write, so to me, open mic is heaven. They used to always have panel discussions there about men versus women and stuff like that. I would go there always making comments, always having conversations. And then my next year, which was my sophomore year when I finally moved in, the dorm director herself had actually thought I already lived there because she always saw me there and I fit in so much with the older crowd. So one difference about me, always been told I was mature for my age. Another difference about me, was always very outspoken. Anybody that knows me here, especially Pop Discovery, will tell you that. From your Miss Millers, I'm not sure if some of you all know Miss Campbell, who used to be Pop Discovery, she no longer is. Always been very outspoken. Spoke my mind, no matter what. And that actually got me in trouble sometimes, I want to be very honest. I caught a couple of conversations over the speaking your mind. But I was able to use it. Another thing about me, I love the arts. I love to sing, I love to write, and my being able to love that has actually helped me currently. In October, I just put out an autobiography telling the story of my life from when I was 6 to my time in college. And I have been selling merchandise with that as well, which is why you see me rocking the Bigger Than Me with my cranberry Forever 21 pants. You know, I love a little style for a little less. Y'all don't know. Hit me up. I'll teach you how to have a thrift shopping spree and still look fresh in no time. So it's all about using what you have to do what you were meant to do. Okay, I know a lot of times in our current society, you're taught, be like this person, be like that person, please your followers, whatever. One thing I've learned is people are pleased most, especially our generation, when they can tell that you're being honest about who you are. People can pick up very, very quickly on the fact of what someone's being what you would call quote-unquote fake. You can tell because the smile's a bit too hard. You can tell because the pose is a bit too hard. You can tell because it seems like whenever something comes up, they're the first one to make comments and stuff on their pages, but then you never see them really doing anything with their lives either. It makes you look at them kind of with a side eye, because it's like, okay, what are you really doing here? You have commentary, but when are you going to use that commentary for yourself? People rock out with you 10 times more when you actually are being yourself and doing what you are supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, not only are you helping other people, but you actually are helping yourself. And you're able to do it with much more peace because you're not having to go and take your mask off when you get home. Okay, so quick question. If anyone had to say one thing they would say makes them most different at this time, what would it be? Do I see a hand or a facial expression right here?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of like you. People tell me that I look and talk older than what I actually am.
Yeah, I heard you did when I said that. I heard it right here in this section. I know where that came from. Okay, you said you feel like people say you come across a bit older. Anybody else would say the thing that they feel makes them the most different, or that makes them stick out the most. Let's put it that way. All right. So you said that you feel like people say you act a bit older for your age. All right, so if you look at somebody, let's see if we could pick somebody here. Okay, if you look at somebody like, and I know I got my ladies in here, but y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Let's say Dwayne Wade, that's Gabrielle Union's husband, am I right? So, she has about 10 years on him. When she met him, she was wondering, okay, so how am I going to do dating this guy that's younger than me? However, a lot of people that know him said that he acted older for his age. She herself said he acted a bit older for his age. She said she feels it's because of his children and the fact that he had to be a father at a young age and had to be able to kind of put the childlike stuff aside. Him doing that, A, professional athlete, B, businessman, C, got a wife now that I bet 99% of dudes themselves would be like, yo, send her over here. And also, he's able to now, let's talk of him retiring, and most likely, the way he's going, he might be our next Magic Johnson when it comes to business and when it comes to sports and all this other stuff. But it's because he didn't try to change who he was. He was who he needed to be at the end of the day. Sometimes, like I said before, we really try to do a bit too much to try to please people. Another question. If you were to say the one place where you feel like it's a bit hard to be yourself, what place would you say that was?
School.
All right,
Work.
perfect.
Work.
School, work. Okay, so with school, with me saying how I've always been told I was a bit older for my age, that came up a lot in school. And that came up a lot in school for the fact of I would try to be like everybody else, and that mess did not work. Perfect example. Me, I grew up in church. I'm a church girl. Pew baby, PK, all of it, you name it. That's me. And some things about me, with me being an old, more mature type person, there's some stuff in my personality, even if I wasn't a church girl, there's some stuff I just wouldn't do. Perfect example, I'm not really into the cussing thing. Even if I wasn't church girl, I wouldn't really be into the cussing thing. For the fact of, it's just really not my flow. I really just don't get it. And it's not me judging anyone that does, just I really don't get it. And with me being a writer, I kind of feel like, oh, there's plenty of other words you can use besides this right here. I went through a period in my life, I was cussing every 2 words. Trying to fit in with everybody. Just bleep, 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 bleep. I said bleep and did bleep, bleep. Now, mind you, I had my friends. They knew how I really got down. They knew that was not me. One of my friends actually got mad at me one day and was like, Amber, stop cursing. You don't even sound right. Literally was like, just stop. And the funny thing is, we actually got into a fight over that because me, I'm a person, honestly, I've had to learn how to take criticism from people. That's been something I've had to learn how to do. But when it all played out, and I thought back on it, I couldn't even be mad at her because I'm like, she was telling me the truth. She was just telling me to be myself. For a lot of times when we try to be like other people, A, we don't even do it right, and B, we overdo it. So the people we're trying to be like, we're doing more than even them. And sometimes we can even run them off. They're like, okay, you're doing too much even for me. So I think it comes back to really being able to be yourself and being able to walk in what was for you. And when something's meant for you, it's going to come across regardless. It does not matter what type of things you face. It does not matter what you feel you have, what you feel you don't have. It doesn't even matter how you feel you don't fit in. At the end of the day, if it's meant for you to do it, it's meant for you to do it. I remember when I was at Heritage, the day I was able to meet President and Michelle Obama. I was in the choir. We were set to go sing at the White House. Mind you, we were told we would not be able to meet them. We were told we just would be singing at the White House. We still turned up because we going to the White House to sing. Cool beans. They're singing, feet are hurting like someone are sticking knives in our feet because we're having to stand in one place and sing about 45 minutes straight, like 4 different times. So we finish up the concert. We're literally coming downstairs. We're having to basically carry the choir director. 2 of the guys were actually having to hold her up because her feet were killing her as well. We get downstairs. We're told, oh, you're going to be able to go meet them, come into this room. I'm guessing somebody walked by and said, yo, these kids are killing it. You need to come meet them because they can sing their tails off. Whatever happened for it to happen, I'm cool with it. We get into the room. We're sitting down, and literally Obama walks in and says, hey, guys, what's up? We're sitting there with our mouths wide open for the fact of, A, none of us thought we would meet this man. B, we go to school in Heritage. We literally are having to walk through metal detectors when we come into school because they're scared we're going to do X, Y, Z. And the fact that we're able to meet them, and there are people with 3-4 times our income that have not been able to meet this man. And we're able to say we were able to meet this man. Him and Michelle go one by one, shake our hands. Amazing. Michelle's even more gorgeous in person. We're able to sing for them. They say, okay, sing for us. We're able to sing for them. Then they get a photo with us. I actually have the photo here with me because I have it in the frame. I keep it up for my encouragement thing. That's kind of like, I guess you would say, my board type thing to be able to encourage me on those off days. But it blew my mind for the fact of, A, other people do not have this opportunity that are anywhere near me, and then B, not only am I the girl that's in the choir, that's in what a lot of people will call the hood, but I'm the homeless chick in the choir that a lot of people will call the hood. I literally, me and my mother were in a program at the time where we were having to move from church to church every week. I literally stayed probably in 12 spots that winter. And the fact is, I'm meeting the leader of the free world. And I was just sleeping in a cot on the floor 2 days before. But it shows the fact of when you are meant to do things, when you are meant to go places, when you are meant to be able to have certain experiences, no matter what is going on, your circumstances are not going to determine your destiny. what you are facing is not going to determine where you go. It's simply going to determine the strength you have when you get there. You just got to be able to rock that thing out. So question, if anybody in this room had to say the one person in our current, I guess you would say, media or culture that you admire the most, what would it be? Celebrities do count. I know one of y'all know one of them had a documentary just came out.
I watched it yesterday.
What you say now?
I watched it yesterday.
Man, I don't watch that thing about twice.
So y'all know who I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
guess y'all getting my hands. Okay, even if you look at her, we're going to take the person I'm discussing. I'm mentioning right now. We're going to take Beyonce. You look at her. She herself, and I have not seen the documentary yet. I know you. I know. Bad Amber. I have to watch it. But with the documentary, from what I've heard, she had to get C-sections.
Yeah, she had preeclampsia.
Say what?
She had preeclampsia.
Exactly. Had to get C-sections, had to do this and that, was having to train and do choreography and this, that, and the other. Having to make it through all this stuff. But because she was determined, A, she got it done. B, she had it done better than anybody else at that festival so far. And C, she even blew her mind. Because from what I've heard, she herself said, I'm not doing this again. But when you're determined and you want it bad enough, you do what you got to do. I mean, for instance, who in here is an iPhone lover? Okay, so let's say there's a new limited edition iPhone out and they are selling it at a spot 15 minutes from your house. Let's say the money's a little tight, but you realize if you move it around here, there, do a little switchy room here and there, you're going to be able to get the phone. You would do what you had to do to get it for the fact of you want it that bad, am I right? When you want something bad enough, you do what you got to do. Normally we talk about, oh, I'm not able to get this, I'm not able to get that. Normally it ain't that you're not able to get it, it's simply you don't want that thing as bad as you claim you do. I know me, myself, I was in college one time. We were going to New York for a trip. By this time, this was about last year, me and my mother being homeless, and by this time, people in my department, it had, I don't want to say got around, but the teachers in my department, one thing I love about Hampton, you know, rock the blue and white, is that it really is a family atmosphere. When something's going on, they want to protect you. It's like, you know, you the little brother, little sister. They want to make sure you're straight. And as a result, the teachers that were teaching me when it came to my major, which was journalism, knew. So me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to this trip to New York. Good networking, get these jobs, so on and so forth. The secretary's like, okay, let me holler at the dean to see about getting you paid for it. Oh, no, I got it. She looked at me like this. She's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I got it. She's like, do you really got it? I said, yeah. She's like, Amber. I'm like, okay, it'll be a little tight, but I can make it work. And she was like, no. Let me talk to him, and then if that's not able to be done, then you do what you got to do. But the fact was, I wanted it bad enough that I was going to do what I had to do to make it work. I did not care. I was going. However, if it was something maybe, go to something down the street, really I'm not interested in it, not really interested to get the job there or whatever, I would have been like, oh no, I'm good, I'll catch you next time. Because I wouldn't have wanted it bad enough. At the end of the day, you got to see really how hard is your desire for it. I don't care what neighborhood you're from. I don't care what environment you've come up in. And don't get me wrong, I know various environments are difficult. Let's please make that clear. However, you can be able to actually take that grit and turn it into glory. You just got to be able to want that thing bad enough. For the fact of, if you look at people in society who are successful, who have done this and that, all of them have a backstory that would blow your mind. It's what gave them the drive to be successful in the first place. And the thing is that with you having different circumstances, it actually helps you to be able to have opportunities. For instance, scholarships. There are millions of scholarships out here for various things. There are even scholarships for people who are left-handed. It comes down to how much you're willing to research, how much you're willing to apply, and how much you're willing to actually go for it. There are scholarships where they have put out money year after year, but no one's really applying. So the people who get it are people, because they applied, they're just getting it because no one else has applied. They actually have books out with the scholarship stuff talking about how you can literally, I think it was a young man, he paid for his entire tuition with little itty bitty scholarships he's applied for about different stuff he was interested in. It took research, it took time, it took determination, but he got it done because he wanted to be able to graduate without debt hanging over his head. But you have to want it bad enough. And honestly, with having the circumstances, it depends on how you use it. It can either be a burden or it can be a boost. For the fact of growing up in a low-income area, you're able to get the federal grants more often. You're able to get the student loans that have the low interest rates. You're able to get the scholarships, programs like your Pike Discovery, programs like your Boys and Girls Club, things of that nature. They're there to help you, but you have to be able to pick those things out. I know me, I found out about Pike Discovery in middle school, and I was with it as long as I was because it was a family type of atmosphere, and it was amazing. Back when I was going through my time of being depressed and not coming to school and stuff, Miss Miller would literally post on my Facebook page, "I have not seen you in a few weeks. Are you okay? Call me." Because at the end of the day, it was about caring. And literally, Product Discovery was one of the things that were able to be used to be able to help push me up and give me that boost that to this day still blows my mind. That's why I work with Product Discovery now on the board, because the same way I was helped, I want to be able to help somebody else. You just got to be able to turn that difference into and turn that difference and use it to get to your destination. All right, so take a little pause here. So far, do we have any questions, any type of comments, anything anybody just wants to get off their chest with it being close to the end of the school year? We got a free-for-all right now.
You should come back more often over the next few years. Because I know one day it's just going to be one hard day close to when I'm about to graduate. I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. You should come back.
Okay, we're going to do this. I got some of my cards on me, so I'm going to make sure you get one of them cards. And if you need to talk to somebody, hit me up, all right? I got you. All right, any other comments, questions, just needed to have a woosah moment? I definitely know the high school stuff can be hard, especially now everybody's in your tea with these phones and stuff. I love these phones, but they can't get everybody in your tea who they trying to sweeten it. All right, so quick question really quickly. How's everybody going with the scholarship application programs and everything right now? I know she mentioned it, and I know those application programs can be rough, depending on what's going on with SATs, ACTs, SOLs, what have you. End of the year definitely can be rough, especially if you haven't started scholarship application season towards the beginning. Everybody's going good with the scholarship applications and everything like that.
The fast web is annoying.
You said what part's annoying?
With the fast scholarship web thing, it's
Okay.
weird.
Well, I would say this, with the scholarships, one thing is definitely get together kind of a base essay. And when I say a base essay, what I mean is this. Get together that essay that can kind of be used for various things and just maybe needs a tweak here and there. I say that because my essay, when I did my on-site admission to Hampton, I had put together a base essay, and actually Pilot Discovery was the ones that told me to put together that base essay. So when it comes time for applications, all you gotta do is kind of change the sentence here or there, get it in there, no harm, no foul. And the essay was about A, my time with my depression, B, the effect it had on my education, and then C, how I was working to get things in order. For the fact of, I knew looking at my transcript, they would see the A's and the B's. They would see that 1 year that drop, and then see the A's and the B's coming back slowly but surely. So I knew it was going to bring up questions. So my thing was, let's just attack that jump head on. Because I learned one thing is that when you attack it head on, it gives less criticism and brings more praise for you simply being honest about what happened and how you're trying to change it. It's really that simple. So I went with my essay, everything, when I went and applied to Hampton. Mind you, Hampton University, I'm not sure if people that know about this, they gonna be take 3.0 or higher. If you ain't got 3.0, normally they're not looking you in your face at all. So me at this time, I'm 2.82. I had applied to a bunch of different schools, and these schools wanted to give me 4 rides. One school, literally, it was Shawan, if I remember correctly. He literally told me, because he saw the test scores, the resumes, all that, 30 ACT, all that, looking beautiful. That GPA was the only thing that causing the issue. He was like, yo, as soon as that GPA hits 3.0, here's my card. call me. I will make sure we pay for everything. That's how much they wanted to give me this money. But they couldn't because they couldn't give me as much money as they wanted to. They could give me a little something. But they wanted to give us to the bank. But nah. So I go to Hampton. I'm doing an on-site admission. She reads my essay. And as she's reading it, I can see the facial expressions and everything. And she's like, okay. And when it comes time for her to decide, she literally has the papers in her hand and she's back and forthing. Then she finally goes, you know what? I'm going to let you in. I really feel if I had not written that essay and addressed it head on the way I did, I may not have gotten it. I think the fact that I addressed it head on and I was honest about it worked very much in my favor because it showed, okay, she really is trying to get her stuff back straight. She's not just, saying, I'm trying to get it back straight just so I can get money. She's getting it back straight. She's addressing it. She's being honest about it. And she's moving on to what she has to do. Your scholarship, your essay plays a big part in what you get. So I would say be very mindful of that essay and make sure whatever may come, I would say whatever you feel may need to be addressed, address it. Because it will put the ball back in your court. It'll put the ball back in your court. Addressing stuff head on is the best way to go. And making sure that you use what you're good at and you focus on that is the best way to go. Me, I went to school for journalism. I love to write. I just put out my autobiography in October, and I did that because I wanted to share my story and share and to explain to people my life, good, bad, ugly, and be able to encourage them with what I had went through. So that way I could take my difference and once again use it for the destiny. Take the stuff and the circumstances and be able to use it to help somebody else. Because at the end of the day, it's not about what you go through, it's about how you use it. Some of that stuff, either it can break you or it can make you. It's your decision. That's the best way I can put that. So with them scholarships, make sure you hit stuff head on. With them letters, with them recommendations, with those essays, hit it head on. Trying to beat around the bush, it's going to come up. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. All right. Also, with everything going on with college and deciding what schools and stuff to go to, are there any questions with that? Because I know me, I was trying to get out of town. If you had told me I was going to be going to school down the street, I would have said you was high on drugs that didn't even exist yet. I was trying to get out of town. And that's a whole other conversation. But is there any questions or anything about being able to balance out wanting to get out of town, wanting to stay home, making the choice about that? Because I know that can be a bit rough, especially an area like this that has a lot of schools in the state. Virginia is packed with schools. And that can work good for you because you get that instant tuition, but sometimes you want to bounce. So are there any questions and stuff about that? People trying to figure that out or anything like that? I see a smile here.
No, I'm not worried about college right now. I'm a freshman.
Okay. So have you taken the PSAT and stuff yet?
I should have this year, but...
You took the words out of my mouth on that one. Okay, so you said you're a freshman. If you had to guess right now, what would you say you wanted to do once you got out of high school?
Go to college.
Okay, what would you say you want to major in?
I don't know what the major is called, but I want to be a veterinarian.
Okay, so that's be medicine most likely. Pre-med, college, or maybe something else. A lot of people do pre-med and then veterinarian. So you love animals. Yeah, give your props on that because me and animals ain't the big best of friends. So I give your props on that. How are things going with classes and stuff?
Good.
Okay, that's what's up. Because freshman and sophomore year, you could be thinking you chilling, and then when junior year come, you be like, nah, I should have been on with that.
Chilling.
Hey,
No.
you don't need the chill period because junior year and stuff. That's when not only are you in classes, but you're also having to start doing your applications. Have to start doing your SAT, your ACTs. And I would say with that, get those going early because with those, if you take one and let's say something goes wrong, you have more time to take it again. Versus if you wait till the last minute. Proactiveness is going to be your best friend in all this. So forget to do it on time, do it early. Because it gives you time just in case something pulls a doozy on you. It gives you time. All right, question, is anybody not want to go to college and wants to maybe do something else? Let's say maybe trade school or something like that. Okay. Because I definitely know in our current society, a lot of people are hitting more the trade school, the entrepreneur type thing. I know me, myself, I stepped into entrepreneurship. Got the blog, got the book, doing the merchandise. And honestly, that's just because I've seen that that's the place I should be hitting. However, I did still go and get that degree for the fact of me being trained in my writing, me being trained in how to deal with your everyday people, deal with your readers, your followers. That will be helping greatly and is helping greatly with what I'm going to be doing. So having that education definitely will still help you. It will still help you greatly, very much so. All right, so any questions about anything I've said? Any questions even trying to get up in my tea?
You like it at Hampton?
I loved Hampton, and I say I loved Hampton for the fact of, honestly, Hampton felt like home. Hampton was the first taste I had of home in a couple of years. As I said before, my mother and I were homeless when I got into Hampton. Due to my behavior during the time I was going through depression and different stuff like that, honestly, I had run some folk off. And some people, friends of the family and everything, they had dug in to see what was really going on, and they saw what was going on behind the scenes, and they're like, okay, so this ain't just coming out of nowhere. There's something behind her acting this way and doing this and doing that. However, everybody's not going to do that, and it's not for you to expect them to. Everybody's not going to dig a little deeper when it comes to what's going on with you. But as a result, Hampton honestly felt like a new start for me. It's definitely where I found my family, my friends. My sister, I'm still working with her with, she has a YouTube channel called Singles Walking in Purpose. It's amazing, y'all. You should definitely go check that out. Because rushing to get a ring is not the way to go about it. Do not get that ring for you need to. Bay is not all there is to life. I had to drop that in there. But she's doing amazing things, and I've known her ever since my time in school. My spiritual father, Pops and my color, and I'm still get down with them. My girl Nisha, I met her at Hampton. Just a lot of my ties, your circle plays a big part in your success. And that's really where the seeds for my circle were really sowed. And they've come back amazingly. And I'm beyond grateful. So I loved Hampton. I definitely loved it. The culture was amazing. The people were amazing. Now don't get me wrong, I was still different at Hampton, so I still caught some shades sometimes. When you different, you gonna catch some shade. It don't make no difference. But it was definitely an amazing environment. I would not change it for the world. Yeah, I rock blue and white to the day I die. All right.
I do too, but mine's is over the year. I said purple and white too, but mine is over the year.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We ain't no NSU. We ain't got no green and gold up here.
We hold the green and gold.
Nah. Rock the blue and white. Stop that. They ain't shot you. All right. Any more questions? Like I said, if you want to get up in this tea, now is the time to sip it with some lemon, some honey, whatever. Well, I'm definitely happy I was able to just be able to share with you all and just be able to encourage you all. Especially, right now we're here as the young ladies. Please do not think that please don't think your esteem has to be in what other people think of you. Please know that that's not necessary. It's not about who thinks you're cute, who thinks you're not, who thinks you're cool, who thinks you're not, who thinks, you should be this way, you should be that way, dress this way, dress that way. It's not about everybody liking you. It's not about being with the cutest boy. It's not about having 1 million followers on Instagram. Yes, I did go there. It's about being the person that you were meant to be. Please know that your worth is not in no guy. Your worth is not in no followers. Your worth is not in being Miss Popular. Your worth is being who you were supposed to be and going down the path that you were meant to go down to reach your goals and your destiny. And once you do that, it will make you happier and more fulfilled than any guy ever could. You gotta use that difference and take it for that destiny. If you all have any more questions, I will be here until 4. Also, if you would like to see the photo, Barack and Michelle, I do have that, so I will be passing that around with you all. And if you would like to know anything more about the book or the shirts, I do have some on with me, and I do take, Cash App, PayPal, whatever, all that, I take it. So if you would like to know more about that, I got you as well, all right? If you have any more questions, I'll be here till 4, so trust me, I love to talk.
Miss Sergeant.
On behalf, to the ambassador, but she just left because she had to work. On behalf of Party Discovery and National Ambassador, we'd like thank you for coming out and speaking because you didn't have to take time for Jay. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I used to be ambassador too. I know all about that.
Finish.
Do you have any questions for her?